on the server. Made any new updates. But I want to check out what was there before.
估佢唔到啊！
突然間彈出嚟。
啊！ Oh, it's one of the most boring films I've ever seen. And it's one of the longest seconds we've ever seen. Now it has been playing time in seconds for the past 10 seconds. But we will get there eventually. But I think it will make good sense to go online on the store when we start talking about troubleshooting and debug.
冇啦，起碼10秒前。
Online at last. Now we'll just wait for it to synchronize. I want a lot of green dots out here. There we have it. Yes. What's always interesting is our online and diagnostics out here. Where we can see the actual status and our diagnostics buffer if we have any errors. And we don't at the time, so that's good. Yeah. But also from here you can put the CPU and stuff and start it up again if you ever need that. Yeah, it's just good to know where this one is. Also you can see, exactly what firmware is in it. Yes. Okay. That's troubleshoot. Yeah, as I said before, the easiest way to look at any kind of inputs status, that's through the PLC tags. If I wanted to check if the jam sensor for destination 11 is okay, well then I go into destination. It's the input structure for destination shoot input, being I/O that's actually on the chute. I need to select what destination, and in this case it is number 11, and I can go online. And it's true, and it should be, so there we are. Also, if it was not the jam pick I was interested in, it could also be the status of the conveyor. Well, the conveyor is not part of the sorter control, so we have to look in the interface, and that's the input structure destination PN interface, and it would be number 11, and this is a bit structure. Okay, and we don't have conveyor ready for this one. So if we are not discharging to this destination, then okay, we can see here, but the conveyor is not ready. At least we don't get the signal that the conveyor is ready. it will also show up on the SCADA that, yeah, this chute is blocked due to conveyor not ready. But we can confirm it here. Yes. Now what? It's very, very slow. Okay. What is... Yeah. A folder which is very important to us here. It's the watch and force tables. We have a force table if we want to test that the electrical function of some output, we can force it from in here if we know the address. And we can look up the address in the PLC tables.
IO list also, right?
Also in the IO list, yes. Yeah, we're not going to force anything like that.
Yeah.
But what we can do is that I can take a quick look here on, yeah, everything apart from the force table is watch tables. And we have made some predefined watch tables, mainly for the use of our commissioning engineers, but yeah, they can also be a good way to start if you want an overview of what is going on. The operational I can see here, well, the sorter is running and it's ready to sort. And it's running at nominal speed. Yeah, I already knew that from ready to sort, but here I can see the actual speed, or the actual average speed. I can see if there are any of the test functions that has been switched on. And I can also operate them from here. For instance, if the conveyor system has been switched off and I want to have the induction running anyway on the sorter, then what I could do is to engage this test function to ignore the fault that there's no heartbeat from the conveyor system. Then I will just ignore it. It's pretty much self-explanatory here.
都冇心，錄咗點解今日特登攞件舊衫出嚟着？
即係下個禮拜我而家都係你喎。
嗯，
連續4日都有。
Yeah. But anyways, you can make your own watch tables or take one of the ones that's not predefined and do something with that. If there's something specific that you want to monitor. one called PNPN interface, but yeah, that's actually better to see that in the text.
Sorry, Nels, I have a question for conducting whale watch table. So is it possible or BG Fusion also pop up alarm when current collector fail or damage? Can we?
Yes, we always monitor if the current collectors are there. So if a carrier that is supposed to have a current collector does not have a current collector, you will get an alarm for that.
And we can.
That will pop up on the SCADA.
All right.
But that will pop up in the carrier alarm. That's a carrier alarm. Even though we monitor it in the conductor rail, the alarm is related to the carrier because it's the carrier that is missing something.
Okay.
Yeah. So, get that. If we go on. Yeah. You can see every time it detects a current collector. So when it's true, there is a current collector in the check rail.
就喺 conductor rail 喎。
如果我哋用喺現場用呢個 mon 住，即係我哋喺 maintenance platform 嗰度，我哋應該大概睇到係啊
But yeah,
邊個車仔。
a lot of
意思係邊個車仔冇料到？我嘅意思係。
不過
interesting
佢話 BG Fusion
information
其實會彈下啦嘅，
in here.
咁啊唯有信佢真係準啦。
成俾錯料啊！
但係真係驚 BG Fusion 又係俾錯喎，
係啊
錯 number 就可能好似佢咁要係咁。
Here you can see the impulse counter. You can see which area is at
0%.
yeah, is at the synchronization peg. You can see when carrier number 1 passes, this one should be true, or yeah, might not be able to update fast enough here. Should be around carrier 316. They're not updating fast enough here. But if you want to check that, that's where you need a trace. But we'll come to traces later. Yeah.
If we have a current collector alarm, wherein probably one carrier will be missing a current collector,
Yes.
would it be possible for us to force the system to run even?
It will be able to run with if it's only one missing.
Okay. How many carrier will be allowed? A missing carrier will be allowed?
At this point in time, I think it's 5 in total.
5 in total.
Yeah.
即係
Except
超過
if
5個
that
人得啦。其實得32個啫喎，唔好多。
係啊，
係啊，即係話最多5個，6個就
4 or
可能
5,
唔夠力
something
啊，或者
like
唔知
that.
咩。
If they're spread out different places, but if it's in a row,
Consistently.
then if it's consistently, then we stop immediately.
In a row.
Yeah, 1, 2. Because if they are missing one after the other, then it could be that they are just getting ripped off somewhere, and that we don't want. And it could be that they're getting ripped off in the inlet for the conductor rail, and then we need to stop and check. Okay, what is happening? But it will also appear as an alarm that the sorter will stop, and the alarm that current collectors in a row is missing. Yeah. You can monitor the status of the chutes here. Yeah, well, we have put in one destination, but by changing this number, yeah, we can look at any. We want to look at number 3 instead. We just do this. Yeah, number 3 is also ready for discharge. Yes. See that there's actually activity on the peg bridge here, so we are getting items. What's on the solar drive? Everything is cool. Yes, so those are the pre-configured ones. So I was thinking. Yeah. We'll come back to the test functions later because I actually have a document that describes those if you need them. But I was talking about
講緊啲 watch table 裏邊啲嘢咯。
traces.
揾嚟揾去唔知喎，唔知喎。
How many have you all used traces before? Or know what it is?
Level 4
We have it and Ars Logic.
level 4就即係
Just
叫做
as
啲
friends.
logic 嗰啲 function 咯，個 sorter logic 啊嗰啲嘢咯。
But again, we have tried to set it up
有呢樣嗰樣 level 4裏邊好多嘢。
係啊，
so that this is for our desktop tests that we do here in house. We have some
係啊係
programmer
啊，如果
tests
閹壓就去頭先個 R
traces
tape
to
將
monitor
個
the
tape
test
吸落
results
source
of
table。
some very
寫
specialized
錯
tests.
照抄像。
We have some used for the site acceptance test, and then some for sorter monitoring.
拉索啊閹嘢少啲嘅，其實琴日咧 CS0咧應該好多嘢閹得嘅。
This one
都
is
係
actually
啱啱先
㗎，不過
Online
佢有冇
佢冇講，係啊，其實佢係講得好啲嘅，佢
最
即係咪有
準備得好啲啦？
或者佢有2人咧，咁佢可以講得詳細啲。Status monitor 呢個算唔算係 train？係啊 tracing 呢個。
And I think it's a cool tool. If you can get it in a resolution that you can actually make something with. Yep. One very good place to use it is to supervise the item transfer from the conveyor system to the induction unit, because you can see what step is the step machine for the induction unit in, and what item is coming, everything that goes on here. And especially the relationship between NIP and RNI. Or we can at least see if we get a NIP for each item. We have here the PEG live signal. And so every time that for example, here we can see we are getting 2 NIPs for one item. One before and one after. So that might have been 2 items that we see as one. Maybe meaning that they're too close. Yeah. But we didn't get it too close. So maybe we just saw them as one item. And then we would have said that item disappeared and the second doesn't arrive. Stuff like that. Yeah. Trace is configured from the configuration here, and you just
可能識嘅時間定咩時間唔知。
see.
哇！仲好長，佢 trace 不斷喺度走。
尋日我哋啱啱 trace 嘅時候冇乜貨，啱啱而家應該好多貨。
哦。
To embed this again. The easiest way to
行緊㗎喎，但係 BG Fusion 嘛。
for instance, make a new trace.
你睇緊個片嚟㗎。
Then you
寫喺我嗰背啊。
For example, I would like to have a trace where I can monitor when the synchronization peg sees the mirror on carrier 1 and at what and where carrier 1 is at that moment, according to our impulse count. And for that, I would need to look at my pick and my impulse counter. And but okay, so I find my DB kernel, and up here, and then in the details view I can see what is in this DB. And here I have saw impulse counter, drag and drop. Then you have something to monitor in the traces. Yeah, that's the easiest way to configure. You can also go IT SDV02. That's one. Big sort of music. Yeah. Then you would have to say, okay, I can download that, yes, there was space enough, so come. And go here under traces and see, okay, I have a new trace. I didn't call it anything, it's just trace, but it's now online and I can start it.
Online咗啦。
Yeah. And I can stop it. I want to look at that area where it drops. Oh, come on. Yes. I know I should have 2,528 impulses total.
2528.
2528, yes.
咩意思？咩字呢？
Easily.
嗰度係227喎。
係，但係 佢
我係 pulse 嚟㗎，佢話
係啊，全場有228，但係嗰個鏡可能個鏡嗰個 pulse 就係一個 pulse。
唔係，你喺邊度睇到228？我睇到227。
但係佢意思頭先佢話成個 shot 一
the
全場係228啊，
哦，
即係佢
exact
睇下你聽佢
嗰陣我
點講，你聽。
睇唔到228。
the user constants, didn't I? No, that was in. But I know that this times
佢話
8.
嗱一個 pulse 就係50個 millimeter 啊嘛，一塊鏡係好似同咪就大概50啊，
唔知喎，係咪？
嗰啲反射鏡啊，
我唔知係咪咧？
好似係差唔多咯。
252.
差唔多啦。
Yeah.
50
252. And where's now my
5個
mouse?
cm， 5個 cm 咪2寸咁上下咯，
咁上下咯。
差唔多。
Yep. So here we see it. It's in 2527, and whoops. Then it drops to -1. And it's allowed and there we have 0. But it's because we have, for some reason, we have a 0 in there.
Beginning. No zero.
Yeah, but actually the beginning is pulse number 1. Because there is no pulse 0.
But we consider 0.
But it goes to 0 anyway. And I haven't built the kernel program, but it initializes to 0, meaning that sometimes we get a discrepancy there because it's not 100% accurate, so to speak. And it's something that we inherited from the real Bgls order. And in the real Bgls order, it was allowed to have a plus-minus factor from 0 of 2 or 3 impulses. But we want to be more accurate. We have lowered that to 1 impulse, and that's why it can be -1. But yeah, if you do the circular math, then 2527 and -1 from 0, that's 2528 impulses. Actually. But we can see that it's not spot on, but it's very, very close. And it's within the acceptable limits. Yes. Where have we used? What are good traces? Oh yeah. Starter speed. Take that trace again. We want to deactivate it. What? I can just delete it from the device or from the CPU again, and then I can go and say I want to look at starter speeds.
可以整大啲㗎，唔係佢可以逐格睇喎。
So we have the average speed here on top. We have the regulated output value from the PID controller. Yeah, and those two compared to the set point speed. Okay, is it around the same? The actual current from the inverter, and where are we? Is there anywhere in the chain that we have some major peaks one way or the other? So yeah, if you have the experience that okay, we might have a speed problem somewhere, then you should be able to pinpoint it more exactly from here.
So if we have a missing magnet,
For instance, yeah, maybe not so much one. I think that would be hard to pinpoint. I'm not sure that it reacts that fast, the PID. But yeah, if you really go look for it, you might be able to detect it, yes. But if a whole magnet section is missing from a carrier, I think that it's a bit more plausible that the whole
block or assembly.
yeah, the whole assembly falls off than one magnet. But I've never experienced one or the other. I've experienced that they have that a section has been turned around,
Okay.
so it had the wrong polarity, and that you can see. But then you all have some experience with traces. Yeah. Okay.
But this is more almost similar, but it has more numbers of trace that you could put in.
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember if the configuration.
It could go up to 13.
Yeah, I think we have 14 or 16 in total. We can have. Yeah. So count design carry count. Yeah. What do we have here? Yep. If you have trouble with some carriers not answering, for instance, can be a good idea to run this. Because now you can see, yeah, first of all you can see, let's just try and stop it right there. And right to around here. Yes. And up again. Some pointing sticks. You can see that you have the carrier in position 9. That's where we send information to the carrier, and position 10, that's where we receive information from the carrier. So, for instance, here we have carrier 280, and that one should start, right around here. Yep. So here we start sending some information. It's for carrier 208. Then we take this one and see. Here we have carrier 280 in the receive position. And what do we receive as an answer? We receive 49. Yeah, it's a strange color, but and as you see, 26, yeah, that's the sort of speed we send, so it should always be the same. And yeah, 26 means 2.5 meters. And 49 is no, that's a byte value. Yeah, but it we can see that it's different from some of the others, and it could just be that this has been discharged. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, and the next carrier here is responding 33. And a lot of them are responding 33, so that's probably just, yeah, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. So we also see that we get answers from all the carriers. There's always an answer corresponding to what we've sent. So right now there's no trouble with the communication. I've seen sometimes that if a system has been running for a couple of years without proper cleaning once in a while, then there can be a lot of dust on those windows for the infrared
CTVs and CRVs.
Yeah, and so and that can affect stuff. Yes. Open stuff here. Okay. So, I think we should talk about DLC logs now, and then maybe cross-reference them to traces later on. And also take up the subject of these test functions while we are talking logs, because in my opinion logs are the best tool to debug what is going on. And somewhere I have an okay. I have extracted some logs. You saw it's from the day before yesterday, and I was so lucky that if we start by going through what's happening in the sorter when we from the time that we get an item from the conveyor system, and luckily that's what this log starts with. I have here an item created. And that means that the conveyor system has set high its nip signal, and that it had some data in the data compartment of the transfer area. So what we do is when we see the nip, we see, okay, here comes an item, we create the item. The conveyor system tells us that it's this GID. And yeah, if I just remember this GID,
你個貨都有一個 number 啦，係啦，你當佢一個。
okay. Yes. It's an item created event with this GID, and it's from induction number 1. Surprise, surprise, we have only one induction. Yeah. But every time I'm asked to track an item, I always find the item created and then search for the hex GID. And if you only have the global ID, yeah, okay, you can use that. And then from the start of the item, how does it look? Okay, I have an item created. What happens next? The next thing is that the item gets inducted, meaning that it has now passed all the way through the peg bridge, and we assign the item to a carrier or a carrier group. Yeah. In this case, 127, 128. It has not been assigned any destinations yet. it was placed on carriers 127 and 128. This bit here is about the exact placement on those carriers. So it is placed with the front edge on the carrier 127, clock 2. Every carrier is sectioned in 8 clocks, from 0 to 7.
Okay.
So this is the third clock, or the third compartment of that carrier, and the end is on clock 3 of the next carrier. Clock end 3, because we call them 0 to 7, but yes, it's the fourth compartment. We have measured it to 450 millimeters in length and 315 millimeters wide, and we saw it on peg, from peg 2 to peg 8 on the peg bridge. So that's some pretty exact data on the item and its placement. Then we tell ourselves that, okay, we inducted the item and we have, this is not the SC telegram, it's just a log telegram that we have actually sent the SC telegram. So we notify, we are just telling, having the log that we have now confirmed in the logs that we have sent an item inducted telegram to the SC. The next thing that happens is that, okay, we are now confirming here in our log message that we have seen that we have received an item verification. No, that's not for that one. We have received an assignment reset, meaning that the SC has sent an assignment reset to the MC, and it does that to reset this part here, to make, yes, it is all zeros, but by sending this assignment reset, it makes sure that it is 0 and tells the MC, I have reset your assigned destinations, please wait for a new assignment. Which happens here in the next line. Assignment reset, yes, we change the error state to unassigned, then we change the carrier state to assigned. We get the assignment reset. Then we are no longer assigned, we are now loaded, meaning that there. Can also see what was the state before. It was assigned. Now the assignment has been reset, so now we are only loaded.
Without an assignment.
Without an assignment. We know that there is something, but it's not assigned anywhere. Then our carrier state changes again a little bit later. Through the recent destination assignment, the status is now assigned and it was loaded before. And we do this because we have received a destination assignment for this carrier group, and we have been assigned the destination 39 with the strategy priority. Good. And that's all of what that happens, everything on the induction and just after the induction.
Before the first shoot.
Before the first shoot. We are here, back in my press F2. Get to the next marker here. Then something happens here. Discharge command for this item on the carrier group, and the discharge command is for the carrier with the ID 127. It's for the destination ID 39. The discharge result is now executed. And this one is yet another discharge command.
Confirm
this time for the carrier with the ID 128. Same destination, same result. It's now executed. We know that we have set the output for the CTD to tell the carrier to discharge.
But the signal to the second carrier is only happen once the carrier detected the signal from the CTV.
But this happens as a result of the position calculation. Okay, the CTD is in position X, the carriers Z and Y is coming, and when Z is close, then we set the output on X and cuts it off again, and when the next carrier is coming, we set it high again. So, yeah. So it's the only thing we know is that we set the output at the right time, and that is for us. We executed the command, but of course this is only as far as the CTD. We do not know what happened in the carrier. We have no chance of knowing that. Because the carrier cannot respond. It can only do that at the checkpoint or at the CTD, the CRC point. But for now, we are confident that we have discharged, that we have executed our discharge command, because that's what the status of the program is telling us. We have executed the program for discharging. That's why we're sending this log. Oh yeah, creating this log message. So if we go to the next line, okay, you will see we are now in the checkpoint. And what happened here? Aha, discharge verified.
Item
gone. With item this carrier group to this destination is, yeah, discharge verified. And do we have yeah, and this is the discharge verification is for the complete carrier group.
Mm.
Then again, it's the carrier group and not each carrier. But the next two lines we see item deleted from carrier 127, and the next again item deleted from carrier 128. So here they are now clean. Yeah, and then we change the carrier states for that carrier group to free, and before it was discharged. And finally, we receive item verification acknowledged. We receive a message from the SC that, okay, we have seen that you have sent us a verification for this item. Good. Everything is okay, okay. And then there are no more from this item. We're back at the top here. So that's a complete item. So, and yeah, with a good result. Yeah.
Any strays? Do you have any stray incident?
Stray嘅
哦
理論上係 new item。
What do we have here? Stray item detected. And stray items get hex GID from the
You still provide?
from the PLC.
Oh, they from the PLC.
Yeah, and that's just an incremental number. Or rather, yeah, the global ID part is just incremental. It was on carrier group 65, 66. The position ID where we spotted this is position 11. That's the occupancy sensor. Or the occupancy sensor is actually position number 8, but we have to call this in the program configuration, but on the sorter it's according to some naming convention. It's a physical relation. It's occupancy sensor number 1 on from discharge area 1 or something like that. So that's why it's called 11. If it was detected, if the stray was detected on the sorter, it would be from position ID 1. Not on the sorter, on the induction. It would be position ID number 1. Or induction number 1. Or also, yeah.
So which means this ID position?
This is something that we detect at the occupancy sensor. at the end of the sorter on these two carriers. And we have something about this carrier group previously here. What does this tell us? We have discharged something to end shoot for this carrier group. And it was this GID. And then we can search it out. And what I mainly do is that I make a control F. I say find my bookmarks. I want to clear all marks.
借呢個 number 嚟同 T1 溝通。
I know that
係
Chief item verification acknowledge is the last that I hear.
係
So I'm gonna search backwards and bookmark each line with this number. And I can see I have 15 matches. Then I go search. But search, bookmark, copy bookmark lines. And then I have a quick overview of what happened here. I got an item created, item inducted, received destination assignment. I have a discharge command to destination 9. And it was not executed. Because destination is faulted. Okay. Then I get and receive assignment reset. I get a new assignment here. And it's assigned to nothing. So I have to discharge it to the ensued. Yeah. Oh. Yes, but
assigned to nothing.
Then I go back here and I find discharge to end shoot. To find my I thought I wanted.
都係佢啊！呢隻標係，因為特別我去廁所嘅咯。
Yeah. This is only for 65. And somehow I get a carrier group here on 65, 66. Interesting. Display item detected. Then I might need to look at what happens at 66. Also discharged to insured. But I would like to see I should get a I detected. Mm. What's that called? Somewhere there should be a notification that the occupancy sensor is triggered, that the input for it goes false and then true again. But maybe that's not activated. But at least it's clear here that, yeah, even though it gets a new assignment, it's not a real assignment. And we take the induction telegram. We see it's only inducted on 65. It's inducted on when clock starts 7 to the very last of it's a very small item, and it's from clock 4 to clock 7. So this is on the last clock. So it's probably having a little bit of overhang to the next carrier, and that's why we see it on both 65 and 66 in the straight detection. Because there it changes its position a little bit. It gets registered on.
好似係其實係，我覺得係。好明顯啫嘛啲。佢寫得好清楚，容易啲明啲。更新嗰啲佢嗰啲詳細嗰啲花拉索卡咁啊。寫得有個定級我啊咩啊？呢個琴日嗰個 PLC 哇寫到底咁全啊！唔係佢啲 visa 好難明咩 parking 咩知啊？前備嗰啲啊，就係嗰啲 program。精簡再精簡，注釋都冇乜啊！死分咯，話佢咩 parking 好多形容咧，夠貼切。
Not executed, yes, correct. Then, yep. Discharge to ensued, and we see stray item detected. Yes. On those two. And it can only give us that message in the checkpoint. Yeah, so that's what must have happened. But it's a good example where you can use the logs to
Yeah.
to determine what must have happened. And if you get a lot of these, yeah, then maybe there is a small it could be that you'll need to adjust where the offset for the peg bridge just a little bit, because if we think that we inducted this item only on carrier 65. This one. That's what our induction log message tells us. We induct this on carrier 65 and only 65. But when it comes to the occupancy sensor, we detect it on 65 and 66.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe it's one clock off.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's a lot of those, then what I would do, I would go at the next possible that was not what I wanted. Now I closed it down completely. Where am I at? But I would open my DB test functions, and then I would go in and say, okay, I have here a couple of 10 items that doesn't matter if they only get sorted next time around. I would go to my DB test functions. There it is. Not there yet, but get there. Here on the line sorter. I would go in under stop item. I would say the next item that is inducted, I want to stop it X distance from the induction. And don't go under 5 meters. Better 10 meters here. Because it will try to stop, the sorter will try to stop this item as soon as it, at that position that you have given here. But and it will try to stop the sorter then from the moment, if the distance is too short to the induction, then it will try to stop the sorter while the item is still on the induction, and then it will not end up on the right carriers. So it has to be, it has to maintain sorter speed until it is actually on the sorter, and then you should stop it. So I would give it some 10-15 meters here in this. That's actually probably measured in millimeters. Yeah. So 15,000 millimeters. That's the position I want to stop this item in. And then activate the function. And the next item that gets inducted will stop 15 meters from the induction. And then you can say, okay, then you go back into your logs, find the induction, find the item inducted, log message, and see, okay, is it on the right carriers? And is it in the right class? Okay, no, it's actually just to verify that this is actually the correct position.
That's how to determine it.
Yeah, but you need your measure tape and say, okay, is this actually correct, or is it at least a plausible result, or should it? This item, is that one log too far back or too far in front? Okay, and that's why I say have more than one item, because you need to see if it's a consistent pattern or, yeah, I see. Yeah, but that's where it's nice to have the logs, because there you can see, okay, it is inducted in exactly, this is exactly where we think it is. Then we have to measure, is it that? It should be done during commissioning. It is always done during commissioning. But as we saw before, the clock pulse can drift a little bit to -1 or 1 too much. And that can throw us off a clock. And if it's a consistent pattern, then you have to do something. This is not a big issue. The issue here is clearly that, yeah, okay, we should have this. The reason this item ends up in end dump is because the shoe is faulted. It has nothing to do with that it's a little bit off in the adjustment. That just creates a stray that is actually not a stray. So, yeah. But yes, you can search on, on a lot of things. Yeah, also, yeah, one of the things that I don't think that's so bad on this sort of, but too long. Do you have any? Nope. No items too long. How about too close? Not either. But good job by the conveyor systems. Yeah. Because that tends to be a problem almost everywhere. But it's a great thing that it's not a problem here. Yeah. Do we have any more? Please?
OT 啊
，OT 啊，行啊條
哦
大，咁所以我停晒啦，喺中間度開撚咗有撚用咩？
74 actually, and we already found the first. Have another one here. Oh, this tells us that
straight fight.
there could be something here. Yeah, this is So the first one was 351. This is 352. It's on there, there, there.
Bgls 係咪你㗎？
Follow. And down here we need to see a green marking. Come on. What? Ah. Ah. Yeah. Item delete forced. Stray item detected. Position ID 11. And this carrier group. Yeah, discharge to end shoot 104. So it seems that it's the same thing here, that we have something on carrier group 102 to 103, which might extend to 104 because this is the only thing that goes to end them. But we can take a look at this one and see if we can find it somewhere else.
但係如果一日成個日子個 lock 都係得74件，
Item created, item
咁唔算多啊
inducted.
嘛？你喐我驚
但
你
係你塞塔七你 straight 嘅
Here,
機會又唔係高，AS 係咪先？
少嘅。
又話你話太多太少都唔好攞，你真係比較
AS
so it's the
一
same.
萬件74都唔多啦。
AS 當然唔多啦，即係如果你塞塔七嘅話都唔少。我覺得
係啊，可能係
係啦，
垃圾
如果你垃圾飛唔同啊。
The item detected, carrier group is that.
如果你話真係有70幾件，我覺得多。
The carrier group is actually 125 to
都唔係喎，
126.
1萬件，學佢話齋，可能佢個底唔平，
Created as 125
碌咗少少又唔出奇。
27 because we see something on
唔
27.
係件件平底噶嘛，啲黃
That
底噶嘛，
is
經過條罅，跟住
少一少，
多碌。
係啊，
probably
底唔平好多。
item inducted.
如果一萬件，即係個 percent 已經100件啦。
都唔夠%，就0.7。
So it might have something to do with the induction. That it might be a little bit off in the offset. So we should check it out. But, apparently it's not something that has been a major problem. But yeah, now you know that at least we have those 3 consecutive ones. So that's why logs are such a nice tool. You can do a lot with it. I'm thinking that maybe we should didn't I plan for a break around this time? Oh yes, half an hour ago. Let's take a break. What do you say, guys?
Yeah, okay.
Or are you have
Yeah.
fallen asleep?
正常
嘅，我覺得。
Okay. Yeah, let's take a break for let's take a quarter of an hour, right?
So that's
So
this is
this
the
is
compensation.
compensation then.
Sorry?
Is it the
Is it the
compensation?
compensation?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Dan.
Thank you then.
Yeah. 15 minutes and we'll be back.
Okay.
OK
Yeah.
OK。
哇！
你
喂，佢個 lock 喺邊度？我唔記得
呢
咗。
個 lock 就應該喺 CSC 嗰度揾到
唔係，
嘅，
即係唔係喺
唔係 PLC 㗎。
哦，OK。CSC somewhere 啦。
Occupancy sensor is C.
張飛佢唔會揀㗎，反而
睇唔係好清楚，反
And
正我見有人咧，聽講話
as I recall,
整到啲真係百零蚊到飛
then
嗰啲機票。
機場做嗰啲嘛要。
係佢有人退票，
in this
跟住
DB
飛
here,
機就嚟飛啦，跟住
we can see which locks are
有辦
activated
法可以
and
接到
what
啲票嚟。
and which locks are not activated, because some locks can be activated or
嗰啲
deactivated.
真
好
係，
少啊！
嗰啲真係
除非
北歐話喺機場等㗎咯喎要。
唔係，通常航空公司唔會平賣㗎，最後幾張飛佢反而賣
你反而
貴。
喺機場買飛係貴嘅喎。你話啲
早反而有機會
航空公司員工就真係1/10。
國慶一開始話着食先，嗰啲我係未諗過去邊度玩啊？你話喺邊度咧？
過來人殺人海，
係啊，
好多人㗎。
都唔會係㗎。
國內如果你真係去嘅話，佢淡季去好啲，旺季真係啲人多到。
死月份
而家高速公路塞緊㗎，咁
係啊，
我梗係唔想翻去啦，咁啊就怕高速塞。
What
要
I
翻到去
交鐵啊嘛。
坐車一日翻到去咯，
here was
早上
a
七八
bit
晚
that
到，
activated
跟住第二日早上就翻
a
嚟。
lock message for
高
the
鐵
activation of the
都唔係啊，都唔係啊，都訂到嘅。
訂到啲企票塞滿晒。
係啊，我
高
鐵有企票，
有企票啊！
我聽日出發都有，後股仔都等後股
maybe
啦。
I can search it
但
out.
係你咁樣一定係等後股啦，你
屌我
睇飛啊！
我聽日出發嗰張咧好難買啊！
高啲票嘅，
而家網上投訴緊啊，1、2、3、6啊，特倫登咧
By looking in the
即係譬如
program
我買深圳去上海咧冇飛㗎，我買廣州去上海有飛啦。
廣州去上海，你唔坐飛機搭嗰啲，
我飛機唔係到屋企啊嘛，我平時即係揾親戚接咧要嘥1日啊嘛。而家我坐高鐵嘅話，佢都係用半日時間啫嘛。佢攞單人接我嘛，如果咪去南京接我嘛。
啊，
國泰都係賣2300幾啫嘛，我唔買啫嘛。
We have something about a lock message for the input signal.
但係如果9日就唔得啦。
Up. It's
佢航班係要限。
4,000
佢有
and
嗰啲日期票咧，
if
超過幾多日
it
嘅
is all since it's general,
可能我啱嗰日子咧就係禮拜日嚟嘅，咁禮拜六翻嚟咧就2300幾。
係，但係飛深圳啊，
深圳貴㗎，唔平㗎。
對㗎。
我飛深圳嘅話，我不如坐高鐵啦。
太多啦。
so actually there is, it's just not called something with
啲動物咧，佢個南邊啊啲時佢
occupancy sensor.
你都唔
啱啱開始，
If it's that
我見佢
specific
開始講嘢啊嘛一啲。
sensor that we want to look at, then
開咗係嗰度。
we can go here. And if we were online, we could say was one with specific. Mm-hmm. So that would so it would be this sorter sensor specific position number, we will have to set that to 8. And because the occupancy is position 8, and then we would have to activate sorter sensor specific. We could also just activate this one, but then we would get the input status always for all of the sorter sensors. But if we activate this, then we will get a log message for when the occupancy sensor was changing state from off to on or from on to off, related to what carrier was at the position at that time. And it would be something like, is it 45? Yep. Input signal changed at that carrier at that position. In this case, it would be the occupancy sensor. Input signal is now on or off. The front edge was at this position on the carrier. Yeah. And so on. Then you could see what carrier, what position on the carrier we actually we saw something. Yeah. So knowing those two things, do we induct in the correct place, and when do we actually detect something on the occupancy sensors? Then we could see, okay, this is plausible or not. And it might be that those two things could be one clock pulse away from what they should be. It can happen. Yeah, but that was what I would check for. Does that make some kind of sense? Yeah, I think it does. What else?
其實可能得翻阿 Eric 喺度同佢交戰緊。
今晚先啦，今晚先。
We had the item flow. Yeah, but we had the item flow for when we had a good item flow. Let's see if we can find something where something went wrong. Aha. Here we have some. That's better. Here we have it. With the item created and the item inducted, and the assignment reset, and the new destination assignment. And what happens? Then we have a discharge command. But it's not executed. And the destination is altered. Yeah. So. Then a new assignment. Yeah. 000, and it goes to discharges to ensued, and we delete the item. Oh yes. Some of the nice ones. $40,007 and $40,008. They're hopefully not there. No. But just to check. Oh.
Cầm mẹ. Cầm mất.
It's those two. Unexpected discharge. This is a notification from the checkpoint that a carrier has discharged without the sort of PLC knowing that it has discharged it. And this is an indication that the offset to the CTDs needs to be adjusted, because we are giving a discharge command for a carrier, but it is the command actually hits another carrier than what we expect. So it's very important that those two are not present in the logs.
So basically, we use this kind of codes to search into the logs.
Yeah.
It's like determining also the health of the system.
It could be, yes. I don't know if you subscribe to the Kibana tool for the system.
We have it, but it's not open to the customer.
Nah, okay.
But it's open to.
If it's open to you, then you could just make a dashboard looking for those two.
Okay.
And maybe some other stuff. Yeah. Stray items, for example. Just checking that everything is as it should be. Yep. And
Any no sort event on that one? No sort event.
I think that we don't have that kind of event. It's either discharge executed, yes or no. So we don't. If we execute a discharge, then we always discharge it to the right destination. We only discharge to the right destination. In our opinion. If there is a fault there, then it has to be detected somewhere else than here.
I recall the maybe not sure, but on the S3000, we have an incident before, but not so significant. The impact is not so significant, but I see it a lot of times. It happens. The event is no activation, shoot status free. Wherein the carrier has an item, but it did not discharge, although the shoot is free.
Yeah. Okay. I have no idea. I have to do because that's on the LS platform and it's something completely different.
It's okay.
Than the BG platform, which the line sorter is based on. So I can't help you there.
Okay, it's fine.
Unfortunately.
So now the question on my side right now is, how do we get these logs right now? Are they available already on?
The logs are. Let's see. What do I need to know here? I need to know. Just a second. Then I need to. If I can do this. Well, it's on the SCADA server. But I can't connect to that remote. But what I normally do is that I have it here. Somewhere in the system there is a dedicated log server, but on one of the servers there is a log server application. And yeah. Actually, the only thing I know about the nuts in the sorter drive cabinet, it is that I get two signals from it. I have the overspeed signal and the standstill signal. That's all I know about it. How they are configured on the relay itself, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, but of course, the sorter speed, I supervise that the sorter speed is not too high, because if it's too high, that's a dangerous situation and we close down the machine. And the standstill we use for verifying that we are also actually standing still. And we normally use it in connection with our average speed calculation. So when that is 0 and we are standing still, then you are safe to enter the safety area of the machine.
Good standstill 係個名嚟嘅啫，即係嗰個 V 嚟控制住個 speed。
I think I promised you to find the document where we have those test functions described. Let me just see if I can find that. Tools, the dispatch mode can be operated from that DB. Yeah, you can also tune a gap distance if the conveyor controls can handle it. You can set this stop with item, and it's explained in also the auto tuning function here. There's a user guide for that.
呢份我有，我俾你哋。
呢份係 commission 嚟㗎。
It's on the It's on the order on our product portal, the line sorter product portal, not the project portal, but on the product portal. I don't know if you have access to that. No. I will put this one on. I can make a copy of it. I can at least make a link to it. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't work. I'll see if I can put a copy on it on the project portal, because you have access to this, right? Yeah. Yes. Let's be. I mean. At some point it might be that you have a technical fault that you cannot get rid of if something has broken down, but you may be able to run the sorter, or at least you want to put it in manual mode so that you can drive the sorter to a certain position or something like that. Then it could make sense to use the ignore technical fault. But simply just ignores that there's a technical fault and you can run the sorter. But yeah, as always, when you ignore a technical fault, it is a little bit hazardous. But yeah, it's stuff like this that should take care. Yeah. One thing though that I seem to recall. On the SCADA, you can set the sorter to dispatch mode.
Yes.
Yes, where you choose what destination it should send the items to.
To tester.
There is one precondition for this to work, and it is that the SC is not sending you any destinations. Because if the SC is in operation and sends you assignments for the items, then that will override what the dispatch mode is doing. So if you want to run dispatch mode with an active connection to the SC, then you also need to ignore the redirection from the SC, and that's done from this one. DB test functions, ignore function redirect. Then you can run the dispatch mode with an active SC. I seem to recall that I had a question along those lines from one of you guys at some point. Could be that it was another sorter, but yeah. We want to make that an automatic function for when you activate the dispatch mode, because it doesn't really make sense that if you choose to activate dispatch mode, yes, then you also know that they should go to these destinations. That's the reason why you do it. Then it should just ignore the redirect automatically when you activate the test. But
其他科可唔可以攞？
But for now,
好
this
似
is
好
what
似
you
嗰
need.
個我哋玩得慢啲，我未攞。
而家要去翻呢個 bit 度自己改呢個 bit 就得啦，邊度先？
改條課程。
係 toggle 呢個又係 toggle 又係。
Is there to save it? But I take it that you haven't had any situations that you did not know how to recover from on the sorter so far. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's actually good.
For version 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, if we tend to catch all the this is not the first version 2, it's the third or fourth version 2 sort of that's been commissioned, and we found a lot of things on the first one, and then we corrected that and made a base 2.0.1. And this one is actually updated to 2.0.2 during the commission. So there we have killed almost all the bugs that we know of, except for one. And that's only when you that's one of the test functions that are bugged if you use it in a certain way. It's I don't think that. I think it's also actually when you make a discharge test, a round robin discharge test to the right side of the sword, and since you don't have destinations on the right side of the sword, then you won't find this bug.
But in case the customer upgrade the next sorter, then we will have something.
Yes. Yeah. But if there's any significant upgrade on the machine, then we will also upgrade to 2.3.
Okay. Hopefully,
2.0.3. And we know it's there. It will fix it in the next upgrade.
新啲
On
嘅
the
版
next
本，
hotfix.
但係佢講嗰個新嘅版本嘅係 software 功能上，
但唔係話可以左右踢。
得係真係包括呢個左右。
Anything else that's good to know for debugging?
有位左右踢，冇位㗎。
係 AS 啊，
I'm thinking.
其實啱 AS
啱你用㗎，係啊，其他一字
Yes.
又冇位又唔需要，係 AS 用。
Still, why can't I see the top? Because I'm not at the top. Hmm.
啲人冇啊，
聽日仲有一日㗎，係我就諗緊啦，聽日講咩咧咁做？
係
佢即係冇講俾你睇咯。佢今日呢個表係今日啫嘛，寫日子㗎。
係，咁但係聽日
即係俾個
我就係諗
新表你睇，
緊有咩講咧？咁其實我試話，
即係就有新表俾你睇嘛。
我記得先來，上一次啊講晒
即係我放假㗎嘛。
你就講晒諗緊咩8個字。
The most obvious tool. Yeah, there.
啊，
The network view
咩白？
in online mode. You can see that. Yeah.
我哋譬如做 dispatch
You have all
我哋就咁 CSC 嘅 interface 已經搞掂晒，唔使話 PLC 唔使改嘢噶嘛 ，embedded。但係佢有一個 tip 咧，其實佢又唔係話不，佢係話 Bgls 下就係咁噶啦，要
then everything
將
that is
喺
not
PLC 有個 tape
red
toggle 佢嘅
is actually working.
係啦，頭先講個
I
high
know
嗰個，
that these are great.
咁你
They should
toggle 一下
be
之後
green,
咧，
but it's
跟住你
about
喺嗰個做 dispatch mode 咧
the
就會
graphics.
做到晒啦。係啦係啦，
graphics.
嗰個 bit 咧係做乜鬼嘢嘅咧？就係佢哋話，因為咩啊 CSC 係 directly 控制 PLC，
Red.
佢哋要用嗰個 tape 話俾 dispatch mode 聽，而家唔好 control 我哋，由我哋自己做 dispatch mode 咯。
即係有 fault 都係可以照做。
睇下咩 fault，你
咁咪正話咪嗰幾種咯，嗰幾種咯，啊嗰幾種
咩 linear motor 撞咗咁解，咁就停咗喺度啦。
That's how you find the diagnostics for the various modules.
Send 出嚟 link 嗰條片咧 download。
Safety 嗰啲嘢咧，係咪要了解少少啊？嗰啲文鎖之類，如果有啲人聽唔到，我哋點解？
咁你問下佢，問佢啦嗰啲。
咦係喎。
Safety 嘅嘢我真係
遲早壞㗎啦個鎖。
而家你快啲問佢啊！
係啊，遲早壞㗎啦。係啊，呢個冇問。如果再問佢，再問佢
有冇聽日㗎？真係。
有 schedule 有晒，聽日根本點會冇啫？
係咩？
聽日短啲係真，我估計聽日星期五。即係一定有。
唔係喎，如果而家我哋冇嘢問，佢就真係原來佢講晒，咁佢可能轉頭就話：我聽日
email 再問。
冇而家問我要問㗎。
係啊，
但係聽日
嚟咗，
聽日都有放心。
normally a good
短
thing.
啲啫，我話你話咩？你睇下，聽日短啲，冇咁長。佢數定咁多就係想聽日早啲收工啫嘛。佢唔係聽日冇得做啊。
其實嗰啲文鎖咧，如果真係衰咗，就失敗 pass 真係冇得救。
都有。
你要辦法嗰兩條線，嗰個線。
即係黑壞條線都
係啊，要用黑壞。
測下試下玩啊！
可以喺 PLC 度得啦。
我唔知
PLC 唔俾 force 啦，force on off 嗰個 fail safe detect 㗎，呢個係神奇嘢嚟㗎，即係
佢安全得咁緊要。
fail safe 黃色嗰啲咧，喺門啊、e-stop 嗰啲咧係唔俾 force on，我試過啦。
I think it's nice
我唔得㗎，打撥你出嚟。
with the new version 2 so.
其實有撥臂又無可敵㗎啦，已經。
係啊，點買得啦？
已經包底嘅幫你。
More related
係咯，
on
幫你包底。
component
係
level
啊，
Yeah,
rather
okay.
than
用個字咁啫嘛，
On the logical
打
level.
諗即時打我係。
唔好諗啦，唔使諗
係啊
啦。，
諗都唔諗，估呢啲㗎嚇，估得出㗎。喂，啲
So
人
where
打個飛，其實即時打個飛。
所有諗嘅嘢
Yeah, one time
都只係次要，知撥臂先至係最緊要。
即時叫佢打個飛，唔使諗啊。
breaker,
Yeah.
which is inside in one of the
嗰啲要做貨。
SBUs.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
哇！
It was
有
partially
排搞啊！
噴晒位啦，成個度呢間都
Yeah.
唔使諗啦嗰晚。
so this caused a lot of recurring errors.
So
Paying this group of SBU
打咗半片
rather
冇人追
than
你。
another
你
one.
都知幾個人搞都搞到十一
It's all
幾
around
啦。
係啊，包晒2點落嚟㗎。
that's one of
未
the
未點撞爛啊？車啫，如果真係撞爛咗，
critical
我
parts
車你撞爛就換車仔㗎
in
啦
the solder. That's the
支架撞壞咗。
power
你都
distribution
撥個臂出嚟慢慢換。
within the solder chain.
Yes.
你唔會
It's
等你換完
I'm not going to call it a weak spot because it's not actually a weak spot, but it's very difficult to troubleshoot. Especially if you're not, especially if you only have the the logics to look in. You need to be out of the system and be able to run the sorter in maintenance mode. One of the first things you should do if you experience those kind of things and you have a suspicion that it might be related to a power issue within the chain, the first thing I would do is to get a man inside the fence in the dump chute end, and then very, very slowly run the sorter in maintenance with the with power on for the conductor rails, and then look at all the green lamps in the
So
in the carriers. So you have to either have a camera in there that you can check afterwards, or have a man standing in there watching the green lights in the carriers, that they are all there for a whole revolution. Yeah, when you're there.
赤綠燈，
But yeah, run it in maintenance mode. You will have to be two, one inside, one outside.
Then
Yeah, because we see it so many times that when there's 3 carriers without power, okay, yeah,
at least
yeah,
physically you could identify it based on visual.
yeah. Then you see, okay, it's this part of the sorter chain. And then you can check to either side. That's the first thing I would do. It might not help, but it's the first thing I would do.
It took us, I think, 2 to 3 days to diagnose the problem. And the last thing that we did is we electrically check by disconnecting half of the sorter loops from the other loop, and then check the continuity from one side to the next.
Yes.
After doing that, okay, we identify, this side, because the sorter chain, the resistance,
Yes.
you cannot always get, let's say, a fixed value.
No.
There will always be a resistance, but you have to take note, if you're using a digital meter, you have to make sure that the reading would be stable.
Yes.
If it's not stable,
Then
that's your stat spec side.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yes. Yeah, but it's a tricky system. It is a tricky system. Yeah, and also one of the more tricky issues I have seen is that since we have only conductor rails on the upper part of the sorter. We only power the carriers on that are on top. All the carriers beneath the sorter, they don't have a conductor rail down there.
Yeah.
So that's actually the largest part of the sorter. And so there's quite some distance from the last conductor rail all the way under the sorter into the next. And what happened was that exactly at the furthest point from any conductor rail, but just 2 or 3 carriers at a time, they didn't lose power completely, but the voltage was dropped so far down that the MCB started to reboot, and it can't finish rebooting before it reaches the induction point and where it needs to communicate. And then we had a lot of carrier discharge delay mismatch errors Because we sent a discharge delay for it, but it does not respond back with the correct value
because it's still in the.
Because it's still booting up, but when it reach the CRC in the other end, it is completely booted up and says I'm okay.
So how did you
It's good. But then we deducted it. It must be this that is happening.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, at the same time, it was only one segment of the solder chain where there was a bad connection that it couldn't reach. So it was not system all carriers. It was just
當架車仔走入發嘅時候有啲冇電㗎嘛，
could be
佢啲好長嘅 sorter 咧，你諗下，
161
一路都冇電，去到中間嗰啲車仔咪有機會攞唔夠電咯。咁佢話有機會攞唔夠電咧，嗰塊 MCB 就 reboot 啦，即係佢以為冇電咯。咁啊 reboot 啦，好啦 reboot 咧。咁佢要時間㗎，咁當佢上翻嚟嘅時候，仲 reboot 緊喎，咁咪做唔到嘢咯，係啦，咁佢又會出咗一個頭先佢講唔知咩alarm咁樣嘅，咁好啦，但係咧一路繼續向前衝嘅時候咧，佢去到個尾嘅時候咧，佢已經 boot 好咯喎，咁呢個時候佢要話飛翻正常喎，所以成日話突然之間又alarm，但係同一個車仔去到尾又話翻自己正常。得上邊有，同埋係要有翻好長嘅。
Another one running it very slowly, and then look fine at the turning end. Okay, how does it look at the middle? And it was fine at the other end. Yeah. Those are the ends that we communicated. Yeah, but what if? Yeah, let's check. What can we see anything in the middle? Ah! It wasn't green. It wasn't green. Yeah, so strange shit. Yeah. Good. But I will just make a note that I need to put this document here in.
Yeah, on the project portal.
Yes. That was not correct. Yes. Any other questions? Things you would like to know? Because I'm out of things to tell right now.
Nothing more on my side.
I hope that you feel that now you have a bit better overview of how the structure of the TIA project is. Of course, in one day you can't remember. You can't learn anything, everything about it. But now you've seen what is there. And if you take the time to look at it once in a while, at least now you know a little bit more about where to look. Yes?
So for now we have some idea where to look into.
Yes?
Yeah, actually much better now.
Okay, yeah, but as we used to say, if if you liked this training, tell my boss. If you didn't like it, just tell me. No, you can also tell my boss. Yeah. So yeah. And if you're at any if you're at a later point come up with a question, yeah. If I'm not available, I'm sure that there's someone in customer support that can answer your question or give it to me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And I think I also have my mail address somewhere. So. Yes.
Tomorrow we still have a training.
Not from my part. No more.
I think we are done both for conveyor and line sorters.
Okay. We thought we have one more from tomorrow.
That one is a buffer in case we run out of time today.
Okay.
And we'll use that time period for tomorrow to continue.
Okay, then.
But since
we have one question for the door. So in case the door somehow damaged, how can we disable the door? Or is it a PLC way to disable the door? Or we have to do it by hardware?
My first and most obvious answer to that is you have to immediately repair the hardware of the door.
Okay.
My second answer would be that if my door contact for some reason got damaged and I don't have a new one as a spare part, so I cannot replace it immediately, then what I would do is to go and find one of the mechanical maintenance guys, if you have some of those, someone who can weld, and I would weld the door shut with just 2 small scraps of metal, high and low on the door. Weld it shut, and then I would put in. Then I would bridge the inputs, the safety inputs, so that they are constant high.
So one is to make sure that nobody can enter.
So make sure nobody can enter and bridge the inputs. Yeah. That was what I would do.
Or we could change the door.
Yeah, lock it somehow, yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes it just takes longer to go to a department store and buy a chain and a lock, and
We could ask that.
just have somebody with a welder.
It's very hard to bring it up.
Yeah, okay, of course there is on a platform. Yeah. Makes it a bit more tricky. Yeah, I see. Get your point. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes, but yeah. Make sure that nobody can use that door as an access point and bridge the inputs. Yeah. Yeah, just the main point is that we have to avoid killing anyone or injuring anyone, even by accident. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we understand it's very important for keep everyone safe. At the same time, we have to run the machine. Safety first.
Yeah. Yes, but in case of an emergency, and block the door, block the access somehow in a way that they really want to hurt themselves if they want to come in that way and bridge the engines. That would do it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, as long as you work on fixing it, there will be an emergency stop, and you would have to reintegrate the safety modules afterwards when you have put the bridges back in place. But that goes automatically with the reset functions. Yep. Yes, but a good question and a valid question. That's yeah, but there's no backdoor in the logic to say, okay, we don't use this door or we don't use this door. No, we haven't made that, and we aren't going to make it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds reasonable because safety is safety.
Yeah. Exactly. And sometimes it's cumbersome and takes a lot of extra time, but yeah, that's how it is. Good. Then I would like to thank you all for your participation.
Thank you all
and for your questions. Yes, and as I said before, when and if you get questions, yeah, you can always ask. Maybe we cannot answer right away, but yeah, it's much, in the long run, it's much easier for us as automation engineers that we answer your questions now than when something has gone wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, keep on asking. Yeah. And if there's nothing more, then I will say good day to you, gentlemen, all of you.
Yeah. You too.
Also,
Thank you, Dale.
And have a nice time and take care of the good night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So you have a good day too then.
Thank you. Yes. Bye you all.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
I go definitely my